Council is now called to order. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Is there a second?
A second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Is there any questions or comments on the consent agenda?
I did not, actually.
When we do this, like this meeting is strictly for this other stuff, we don't need to, I mean, we can do it, but the regular consent agenda, this isn't like a regular, but that's fine, we'll do it, but. Because mine keep jumping, and I don't even do this thing, it keeps jumping to the archives for some reason on its own.
Do you want the hard copy?
Well, I got it, but the only thing that comes up is the agenda.
I have a printed copy.
Do you? Yeah, and I got the, yeah, nothing else comes up. Darn thing. I'll have to get that to Carissa. Any questions or comments?
I didn't have any myself.
No, it didn't. It all looks pretty standard, so.
Okay, if not, is there a motion?
Make a motion, we're approving the consent agenda, correct? Or consent? Yeah. Make a motion to approve the consent
Is
agenda.
there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Don't see anybody here for public comment. All right. We'll go on here. Auditorium furnaces. So that part came up where I can look at the warranties. Any questions on that?
It looks like, from what I understand, 2 years and,
Okay, he told me 5 years for parts, 20 years for heat exchange.
yeah, and they're all about the same warranty, all across the board.
5 years on, what about labor?
All he told me was 5 years for parts, 20 years for heat exchange.
Yeah, I don't think they're probably.
Well, there's
You're
gotta be
talking
somewhere.
about with Mikolajczyk with labor?
Yep.
Like if there's an issue with the installation, obviously?
No, you got 5 years on the parts. Let's just say whatever goes out, who pays the labor? This is just on parts, is what he's saying.
Okay. Oh, right, yeah, you gotta come out and change a part, that shouldn't be on the city to have to replace a defective part.
Might only be a year. Most of them are only a year. But he didn't say anything on that, huh?
He did not.
And I can't recall, was there any,
Yeah, it says Goodman will not pay for labor, freight, or any other costs associated with the service, repair, or operation of the unit. So,
I do know about the thermostats, if you care. They're about $200 a piece for the Wi-Fi.
Right, you had that on there.
He suggested you don't need 2 upstairs, on them 2 furnaces, you should run on one. And then the other furnace, the third furnace, run on one. So he suggested if you want them, you'd only need 2, and they're $200 a piece on top of that.
plus installation, I suppose? Now, would he install them or would it be an electrician or?
well, and then there's 2 more furnaces that need to be replaced at some point, and those also will need separate thermostats too? Updated thermostats when they're replaced?
I don't know.
Well, the only reason I think they need them, if they're saying it's because there's 2 furnaces heating the same
Heat
area.
in one area, that big
Like,
area.
you
up
come
there.
down here, there's a thermostat over there, and there's a thermostat there,
Right.
he's saying why. No, if you're saying the other furnaces, wherever, if there's only one thermostat hypothetical running that furnace, well, you need one.
Yeah.
They're just eliminating one
They're
here.
taking one away because 2 furnaces
Right.
heat one area.
Yeah, I understand that.
And then
It's
the other
just-
furnace, we're putting in 3,
Yeah,
but we don't need 3 stats.
correct, right.
To run it the way it should be ran. And they're
Yeah.
$200 a piece.
Okay.
So as far as installation, I just replaced 2 in my house, it's 4 wires, takes 2.5
I know,
minutes. but
I'm
yeah.
guessing
I'm guessing.
Brian would put them in with the furnaces.
Okay.
What are they? What's the name of the thermostats?
I don't know. I didn't get that from Dale, I just talked to him today, he said he talked to Brian, they were 200 apiece. Here's the warranty information. I'm telling you exactly what I got from,
That's the same thing Brian told me.
Well, I mean, that's great, but there's 10 different thermostats out there, and they all are
Can you run them with a smartphone?
I would guess if they're Wi-Fi ready, you can run them, he said you can run them remotely.
So
So
would that
Owen
be-
could like run them from home if he gets, you know, I'm guessing he could program in,
Right.
if there's an event here, to have the heat come up a couple hours before they come in
Right.
and turn off 2 hours after they leave.
Well, the good thing about them is if they can get at them, he can notice that, or someone can notice
Exactly.
Yeah.
that
Somebody
they
can
turned them up
monitor
to 75 degrees, right?
Yeah.
And the only other thing Dale told me is that Brian said for the sear factor, he wouldn't be so concerned with it on this building. That's more affecting your personal house area. It isn't gonna be that, you're not gonna notice it on this commercial type building
Right.
as much. And he,
He told me the same thing.
yeah, that's, I'm just passing on what
So he was recommending, I didn't have it.
Number
Option-
two?
Option 2.
yeah, that's what he recommended was kind of the best value from my understanding. I'm not a furnace guy, I'm just passing on what I got from Dale.
Am I understanding this right? Is this two separate bids?
There's three.
There's three
bids.
Actually.
Okay, I
Yep.
scroll up more.
Yep,
Okay.
there's another one down below there, ERG or ERG.
Got it, yep.
Correct, and we went over this last meeting, they're all pretty much, they're all different brand furnaces though. Each company's selling a different brand.
Well, it looks like Myers is about 5,000 lower than, isn't it? Or my,
BC,
yeah, he said 26,000?
yeah, Mikulajic's at 23 on his low,
Oh.
and he's at 26 on number 2.
Which is the one option he recommended for
Right.
us.
And then
And
the other
we-
one's at 33.
Yeah, and the other one's a little higher. And we
I thought I read 32 somewhere.
discussed, we've been doing business with Mikulajicic, he's local.
So's Meyer.
And that's why we kind of asked him more information on stuff. He's the one who put all furnaces in the county shed and got that done on budget, on time.
But he was, I think the critical thing here is he's low, right?
He is.
Right.
Yep.
I mean,
He
here's
is.
the reason I'm saying is if they were dead equal, I'd have a hard time
Right.
always giving it to Brian.
Exactly.
But he's low, so the other people, you know, otherwise we won't get anybody to bid.
Right.
Right.
And he has been low on every bid we've given
Right.
him.
Option one is low.
Mhm.
Right.
Option 2 we want.
Yeah,
Option
he's
two.
even low bid on option 2. even.
Option
For-
two
Yep,
is.
he's $35 cheaper.
By $35.
This is $35.
Did the other one, because I'm having a hard time, did the other one have any thermostats in?
Nobody came back
Well-
with anything else.
No, but I thought there, let's see if I-
Isn't number 3,
somebody had something in there on the arc. I'm trying-
number 3, furnish and install 3 Honeywell commercial thermostats, but his bid is $7,000
Right.
higher.
Yeah.
And we can get them from Brian for $200 a piece, and I'm guessing he'll install them. Don't, I can't say guaranteed, but like Josh said, there are literally 4 wires in there.
The reason I'm saying that is there's a little more in than that, depending which one he gets.
Yeah, yeah. there
Because
may
you
be
gotta,
7.
you gotta put a deal. No, it's more than that, because I'm just using an example. I had him put a furnace in for me before. It's Goodman, I've had no problems with him. He put in a thermostat for me, actually had a sensor. You have to do the Wi-Fi sensor outside, you had to wire a panel on it. It was nothing I would even remotely think about tackling. So that's why I was wondering which one he was doing. But, because then you got the Nest ones or whatever.
Right.
Those are just
So
stuck right
was
on.
yours an upgrade from what you had, and that's why it needed a new panel on and everything, or do we think that what we have in here would?
I can guarantee these don't have it. No, this is actually a panel that comes with the Wi-Fi part.
Oh, okay.
But if it's $200, no, these don't have it if you go back there and look. I'm surprised they got fire in them, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
But I mean, I think the $200 a piece, did you say 2 of them?
Yep, he suggested 2, not 3.
I guess the only question I'd have is, what warranty, I don't think it's gonna stop us from, what warranty does he carry? Most places will carry 1-year, warranty on their labor.
Labor, yeah.
Which he didn't include anything on
No,
labor.
no, I'm talking on the furnaces.
Yep, yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And this one said that basically there was no, they don't cover anything on
That's
the
just
Goodman.
the
Said-
commercial
Yeah.
warranty that.
For the
he said.
furnace.
He did not, yeah. I don't think Dale asked him about the warranty on labor.
No, you made a good point that if you always go with the local guy, pretty soon you're not gonna get anybody to bid, but I mean, pound for pound,
Yeah,
he's still better on this one.
right.
What is the, I'm missing something about the thermostats. So is that in addition to what?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Would that be the same case in Myers?
Yep.
Yep, because he doesn't
Except for the
have,
bottom one, but that one's $8,000 more.
Right.
And they're not Wi-Fi thermostats in the third bid, they're just
Yeah,
heavy duty.
Well,
in my mind,
They
not
might
the
be,
third bid
they might
out.
be.
They might be.
They just say Honeywell Commercial Stat, is all it says in the bid.
Which is typically your commercial grade regular.
Upgrade from that thing right
Yep,
there.
Yep.
Because you say go with the local guy, and I'm just saying Myers lives in town,
Yep.
so.
Yep.
So, wish I could pull- so we put the thermostats on, how close are they?
$35.
Well, if you throw them on both, they're $35, option 2 to BC. If you add 400 to both, there's still $35 difference.
Okay? Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept Mikolajczyk Plumbing and Heating HVAC option 2 for the auditorium, including 2 Wi-Fi thermostats at an additional $200 each, which would give us a total of $26,465.
Okay. Is there a second?
second.
Any other discussion?
Just given that, I do agree the Myers one's very close too, but it appears that theirs at $35 under is for a 13 SEER. And Mikolajczyk's second option, which was,
Is a 14.5 SEER.
is a 14.5 SEER, so it is.
It's even more.
Yeah,
So it's better,
a little better.
it's a higher rating.
And what's the rebates?
1450 on.
From Mikolajczyk.
And what's the other ones?
I don't see
don't
a
even
I don't think
rebate.
anybody else gave rebates.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay,
Yeah.
it is the better bid all around.
okay. Make sure,
Thanks for pointing that out.
yeah, make sure that they follow through and file the stuff for the rebates.
And then also I just saw it gonna be on the rebate for the Goodman, that obviously that has to be, it said on the
Warranty paper.
Or on the warranty, not the rebate, on the warranty, it said that it has to be registered, otherwise it's all void, so
Yep.
I'm sure.
Well,
they-
once you go for the rebates, you're registered,
Okay, okay. All right, that's all I had.
okay? If there's no other discussion,
Do we have a second?
Yes,
Yep.
I seconded.
if there's no other discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. But I would like to, maybe in this case, send out Diana will put it, send out a thank you for them that they supplied bids for us. Okay? Next one, resolution with the annual appointments. You want to pass one down? Your stuff together here. I want to pass one down to, can you pass one over to Diane? You bet, I knew you would ask for one.
Here, you just want to take that one.
Here you go. Okay, here we go. I'll read through this.
I think you want that.
That's the one I printed. You need another one?
Yes. Okay, thank you.
All right, I'll start out at top. Here's mayor's appointments for 2022. Officials, City Depository, First Community Bank of Silver Lake, the Minnesota Municipal Money Market Fund, official newspaper, McLeod County Chronicle, City Attorney Gavin Jensen and, I don't even know, Stabno, acting mayor, Councilor Josh Winfrey this year, Deputy Weed Inspector, Public Works Supervisor Dale Kosek, Civil Defense Director / Emergency Response Coordinator, Sheriff Tim Langenfeld, City Administrator Liaison, myself, Public Works Liaison, Councilor Sandy Adam Bruins, Public Safety Liaison, Councilor Chris Peñas, Municipal Liquor Store Dispensary Liaison, Councilor Josh Winfrey, Community Development Liaison, Counselor Michelle Schneider, assistants to all liaisons, myself. I didn't double cross-check these, but I assume you did on these, Diane. Regular meeting dates and times, third Monday of each month except January, which is today, and February on the third Tuesday. Quarterly meetings on Monday, April 4th, July 5th, which is a Tuesday, and October 3rd. All meetings start at 6:30 PM unless otherwise noted. EDA Authority, members of the City Council, Personnel Committee, myself, Counselor Sandy Adams Bruins, and Department Head Diane Peterson. Any questions?
Nope.
I didn't know what, if you, I don't know what you did on your first 2 years. Have you done anything with the liquor store in your
I have
previous?
not, nope.
Okay. Have you done anything
I
with the?
had the liquor store the first two.
Okay, so you haven't done the, which is great. I kind
Yeah.
of thought that, so
Yeah.
this public safety liaison works out good, okay? Are you okay with Public Works?
Yeah.
Okay? What? Are you okay?
Yeah, I guess I am.
You got Dale, he's been doing it forever, so.
Yeah.
And are you okay with the Planning
Yes.
Commission and all that?
Yeah, looking forward to
Well, it's
that.
good everybody's smiling. I'm glad to see that. No, I guess my question, and I apologize, I couldn't find it in my file. Can you pull this up, Diane? And it's in the deal, like, it's a description. I know everybody knows it, but a description of what each liaison has.
Yeah, that would be nice.
You know, like I know, I'm just saying yours, Michelle, it says the Planning Commission, you know, dealing
Yeah.
with the pools and that kind of stuff. But it's
Yeah.
just a description.
But
Oh,
that's
did you have-
helpful. That's helpful.
Did you have one? Okay. Well, anyway, just take a minute and look at those when you get a chance. I think you guys pretty much know.
Do you mind emailing? Thank you.
Yeah, mail them out.
Thank you.
Okay.
I have a question on
Please.
this. Just because as public safety
Mm-hmm.
previously, I'm scheduled for the meetings at the township in February
Well, that's okay.
or March.
Yeah, March, you don't have to worry about it. That's a
Okay.
new one, the new liaison.
Okay.
Do you have a date?
Yeah, you have appointments. I'll tell you.
That's
when.
what I need, I have
Oh, I know all the guys on all
Yeah,
the
to, but
townships.
we have to go to, yeah.
Nice.
Well, see, we're going to one. The fireman,
We.
I have to go to that too.
Oh, okay.
We're going to one, Northtown. Dale and them guys go to the other ones and take care of all that.
So, seeing as how it wouldn't be a quorum, would anybody here have an issue with me sitting in with her as she eases in on a meeting on the?
Yeah,
And then
can we?
also as
I would
well,
love that.
also as well, my first meeting with the bar manager, could you
For
also?
sure,
Yeah, that would be
absolutely.
great.
The only thing to be careful of is obviously with the bar manager, that's a piece of cake. So if there's something that you have a planning commission meeting and you're gonna sit on, just let us know in case there was, knowing if there was one council member,
Okay,
anybody could go. You know, I mean, we could go, but if you two are already there, we have to make sure.
Yeah.
right,
You know, and I wouldn't think you'd be there more than 1 or 2 meetings, right?
no.
Okay. No, that's great. Cross-train like that's
Yeah.
perfect.
That'd be awesome. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
What does acting mayor do? I
Let's
don't
say-
remember
let's
last
say-
year.
I got COVID,
Okay, okay,
If
perfect.
he's gone.
Okay.
right? That's really all it does.
It's so
Right.
Bruce can go on vacations.
Yeah. And I kind of rotated, I think you were last year.
I was
weren't you?
last.
Right,
Okay.
You never got sick.
not yet, so, no, but I'm saying, let's say I was at work and I got snowed in or something, you know, that's really what it does, or if I came 15 minutes late.
It's the
So we
head
have
of the
somebody
meeting.
can run
Yeah.
the
Okay.
meeting.
That's
Cool.
really all it is.
All right.
20 years, nobody else ever did it, so.
No.
I'm gonna make sure he misses.
So we're good on that one, well, so we need a resolution, yeah, on 22-01, somebody get that motion?
It's a resolution?
Make a resolution to approve, I make a motion to pass resolution 22-1, authorizing the appointments by the mayor.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? Not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Next one is Resolution 22-02, resolution pre-authorizing payments by clerks, warrants. This is something that's always done, but we have to do it by a resolution. It's allowing them to make the payments, right the,
Make a motion to pass resolution 22-02, pre-authorizing payments by clerk's warrant.
is there a second?
I'll second.
Any other discussion? Not? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next one is Resolution 22-03, declaring city council members employees of the city.
I make a motion to pass Resolution 22-03.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? Not? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Last one, Resolution 22-04, classifying fund balances for financial reporting purposes. Another standard thing.
I just had one question about
Go
that.
ahead.
This is just the 407 one. Is that still an active fund? And you know what I mean? Because we had discussed this, I think last time we discussed this. And there was a motion, I think, obviously, to move those funds to somewhere else, but I'm just wondering, does it still get assigned? And I'm trying to remember exactly what happened it was a year ago. My memory should be better, but I know we had discussed it.
And what's really the issue with it? What are you saying?
Well, you're assigning those funds for
We
the
don't have
police
a
squad fund.
police squad.
Why is
Yeah.
it here
Yeah.
if there
Why do
isn't
we still
one?
have it?
And I honestly can't remember I know we had discussed this last,
We discussed
A
it
year ago.
because we discussed where the funds went.
and I thought there was a
Or is
motion.
that where we pay the sheriff?
No, that's
No.
for an actual police squad.
This is
for a new
back to
squad
the day
car.
from when there was a police car fund.
And I know that there was a motion made on it, and I can't remember, I know it assigned the funds back to, I think, to the general.
No, we could,
they
no,
went-
the sale of
they
the,
went to Pool and Park.
It went to Pool and Parks, that would have been, okay.
There was a
Yeah.
$13,000 transfer from police to Pool.
I thought it went to the rec, somewhere down in that
so is that
area.
where you're saying you took the money from the sale of where's the money from the sale of the one vehicle? I thought that stayed in there when that was sold. And that police fund.
That I don't know. No, there was a motion made that money went somewhere else.
Nuh-uh. You better look that one up.
I feel like,
Yeah, I vaguely remember
talked
that
about it.
too,
Yeah.
that it was transferred.
there was some sort of a motion on that fund.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because that would have been, like January, February, right, when we started
Yep.
the new year last year. That we would have taken care, we would have done something with that.
I don't recall it, and I think I would recall that because that is,
It was-
a
it
sore
was-
spot, so.
Yeah, yep, and I think it was it right before you guys started? I think it
Well, you
was.
couldn't have, because these transfers are after the.
Yeah, they were.
But we discussed it before the transfers
Oh.
even came up.
Yeah,
Yep, we discussed it there, that fund. maybe I'll have to go back and look in the minutes and see what it says.
it might have been before.
Well, anything that should have been on there still should be on your iPad from the January meeting.
The font, yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
budgets.
Mine, I don't know where mine could be. It could be in the archive.
I think I did something right on this once.
God, I always hit the wrong button. Everything disappears.
Should've worn my glasses.
And
You
the
can
reason I bring it
zoom
up
it
is
up.
obviously we
Oh, it's a
we-
good- it's a
we-
good
we don't
question.
have a PD, and I know that it was discussed before. As I was
Right.
going down the fund list, I'm like, well, I know that this fund was discussed, and I think it was prior to you guys coming into office.
I have the
February, because-
January 19th packet. Would it be?
But there wouldn't be, yeah, I see that one's on here too, but
Because it would have been August that you guys voted to switch to the
that
sheriff's
vehicle
department.
didn't get, that vehicle wasn't sold in August.
No, it wasn't. That's when it was voted on to switch to the sheriff's department. And then, so I'm assuming August, September, around October, November, I'm betting it would have
Yeah.
been sold.
And so if I was understanding the fund right, it was money being saved for a new squad car. It wasn't money from the sale of the other one.
So here it is, police squad, so on the 12/20/2021 packet, it is on page
December
15. Yeah, this last December.
This last December?
No, okay, I'm just getting to what Diane recommended was looking at the most recent
Okay.
budget. So there's the $13,000 transfer from general fund. That was 2019 and 2020.
Well, I guess my question, is there anything is there a balance in the police fund?
It says $85 for 2021. Although it says year-to-date, 0.
How do I bring up a search on here?
Is that police squad fund or police fund?
Correct, it's
Is it-
police squad.
Yeah, because I only have the January 19th, so we would have had the appointment meeting the first part of January, right?
It wouldn't have been
Right.
on there though, because normally the appointment meeting is that only.
Yep.
Right. So I'm wondering if this was done in December of 20.
20, yeah.
Yeah, and it was before, I think I got my iPad on the 19th.
What I'm saying is what is the difference if it's just there, if there's nothing being transferred?
Well, we were just discussing this with another fund, I think sometime during the course of the year, we were discussing, or no,
What?
Counselor Johnson had been talking about, it was like, why is it even on the books over and over and over again, and then it was removed, but that had something to do with the fire department. So I was just bringing it up myself too, if we don't have a PD, why is the fund still there and assigned? So
Well, my question is where does the forfeitures fund go?
that I don't know.
Probably has to go, where else would they put it? That's probably where they would put it, and then you move it out. They have to have a, you know what I'm getting at, why is it
Yep.
forfeiture if you confiscate or whatever you want to call it in a vehicle, it has to go somewhere before it can get transferred out. I don't think you can just put that money directly into the general fund.
It says there's no money in it right now.
You can transfer it, I don't know, but it has to, if you sell a vehicle at an auction, you have to be able to put the money somewhere.
But a forfeiture wouldn't go to your police squad fund, wouldn't it go somewhere else in your police? Like, isn't there a line for forfeiture in the, if
Yes.
you look in the whole budget of, yeah.
And there's no transfer budgeted to go into this fund, correct? So it's just an empty fund sitting there that's not being, it has, it's being assigned, but it has no purpose.
So do you want that removed?
I mean,
I don't know what harm it's doing if it's there.
I guess that's up to the entire council, I just don't, you know what I mean? It was the same thing, they had one with the fire department, when Counselor Johnson brought that up repeatedly, and then it was removed eventually.
There was something,
It
yeah,
had
he
no
was talking about, it
purpose.
was there for like 15 years, just sitting there, taking up a line in the
So it's only got 14 more years before it
13
could be
probably.
removed.
Yeah.
What are everybody's thoughts? Should it stay, should it be removed, what?
I guess it would be nice to get more clarification on it.
Well, it's just kind of, what they're saying is it has no use right now. That's really what they're saying, right?
Yes.
Yep, keep it on the roster or take it off the roster. I'm open either way, I just brought it up because it's sitting there
Right.
useless, and it's one that we had.
Well, make a motion.
Okay, then I'm gonna make a motion, that, as long as it's legal, that fund be removed, if it
Fund
has no purpose.
407.
Fund 407.
Is there a second?
Second,
Any other discussion? Not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Motion carried. Okay? What do we
Okay.
got?
so can we pass resolution 2204 with the exemption of
Right.
407?
Yes.
So you just make a motion like that?
Yep.
I make a motion to pass resolution 22-04 with the exemption of 407, the police squad fund.
Is there a second?
I will second that.
Any other discussion? Not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we got that one done. Cost of living adjustments. What do you have here, Diane?
Just the wages beginning as of January 1.
This is what we passed this 2.5 already. You're just giving us the info what they're gonna
Okay,
be.
so this is what the manager had decided for the employees at the bars. Oh, okay.
This is just what it
This
looks
is
like.
just a report is all this is.
You have to approve it so that Carissa can.
Apply it.
The payroll change.
And so, with each one of these being assigned the wages that they're given, that all falls into pretty much into the budget that was discussed. Okay, we're fine for that.
But that's different. This isn't
Doesn't
cost of
affect-
living. See, what I'm trying to get at is cost of living is the 2.5%.
That's what this is.
That's what this is.
As of
Right.
January 1, everybody got the.
We passed the cost of living already. So why do we gotta do it again?
It's just always in the packet that says you have to do this and sign it, so Carissa can.
Okay? We better make sure we pass it the same way we did last month. But this is just telling us how
This is what we passed and
What
how
he
he
decided.
came back
Because-
with it.
No, he didn't come back with anything, did
What
he?
your totals are is
Yeah.
really what it is.
He
So
put-
basically, he just took it,
He put his people in where he thought, because everybody, that next line set was 1333, and he put the more experienced ones up one, and he kept some of the newer ones down one. Remember, we discussed, everybody should go to one, and we left it up to him to put the people where he thought they should be.
you guys know that bartender's been in it with the last person on the bottom.
Derek?
Yeah.
He hasn't been here for a long time. I don't know what Owen's thing is with him.
Boy, he's walking a fine line there.
I'm guessing if Owen cleans up his roster, he'll probably be off. I don't know the situation with Derek, or what's going on. He hasn't bartended for,
Because, I mean, he's not even at the other part. Okay, whatever, that's his deal. Okay, I guess we gotta pass this again.
make a motion to pass the 2022 COLA wage report.
Is there a second?
I will second that.
Any other discussion? Not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I'm sorry,
I snuck it in there, sorry, a little late.
So, motion carried.
I was trying not to laugh at the same time.
All right. Being at the show, what do we got for open discussion?
Well, I'd like to talk about that email we got about 104 Grove Avenue.
Okay?
It sounds to me, from what I read from MinSpec, is that Mike is not complying. And
And this is literally on the last thing that he needed to do.
Yep.
This was that mechanical permit, right?
There's two of them.
Two of them.
how do I get back?
I'm trying to figure it out myself.
Just gotta go here and then go to the inbox.
Yeah,
So-
so here,
You gotta
right?
Get to the inbox.
And then hit that.
Yeah. So you gotta be online. Oh,
And it goes right back to that.
there it is. I am.
Usually there's
So-
an X up here.
You're on the wrong, yeah.
Don't touch it. Maybe
I'm gonna read
this-
it.
Oh, there it is.
Can I have the magic touch?
And here's a hard copy if anybody wants to read it. I have.
But I mean, I guess the first one is I'm just looking at this,
Okay.
12/28. What I'm getting at is he asked for more info. I mean, when was 12/28? Wednesday?
Yes.
And one line below it, it says also.
The one
on
below it is
12/7.
different.
And he knows he's on a timeline. He should have, if he got a request on 12/28, in my mind, he should have called him back within about 10 minutes if he wants this permit for this apartment. I think we've been pretty graceful with this.
But my question my question on this is, are you sure these ain't the other two units he's working on? I just want to I believe in being fair and open-minded to everybody, because I got a feeling they're working on them. This could be what, we don't know, right?
So has anybody from the city followed up with him, like Dale or you? Okay, so nobody has asked him any questions about what's going on here. I mean, that
That's
seems
the
like that'd be a
inspector's-
good next step.
It's the inspectors. We have nothing to do with inspecting that building, other than for our fire.
The 12/28 one for a building permit is not part of what we were regulating.
I believe it's the mechanical.
The mechanical one is the issue here.
Okay?
On 12/7.
Right.
Mechanical permit. And Mike hasn't called in, he hasn't talked to anyone from the city, he hasn't obviously talked to MinSpec. And my suggestion is that Silver Lake City Hall make a call to Mr. Jansen, our city attorney, and pass this information along. It would be my request. Because I guarantee you, Michael will be calling as soon as he gets his message from Mr. Jansen.
the 1228 being out of the parameters of what we asked for, but the 1207, that's almost a month.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
It's falling by the wayside again. That's why if you all noticed the last few meetings about this, I'm kind of perturbed.
Okay, so I want to clarify. So 1228 was a week ago tomorrow.
Yeah.
But what were you saying about almost a month?
12/7.
1207 for the mechanical permit.
Oh, okay.
And that was in the parameters of
And
what,
that was in our approving everything to let him slide again,
Right.
and he's sliding worse from what I understand right now.
Well, the only thing, I mean, I don't know. The only thing is unless he's trying to include in the mechanical permit if he's working on those other 2 units.
Well, I know he ain't working on them, because he ain't been there since the last meeting we've had.
Well, why would he be pulling a building permit for it then?
Maybe he should come in here. I don't know. He's not keeping up his end of the bargain.
Well, the only thing he's not keeping up is the mechanical one. I could care less about the building permit one because it
That's
doesn't
fine.
pertain to us.
But he's still not keeping up on his end of the bargain. It doesn't matter if it's 2 things, 6 things, 9 things. He's not holding up to what we asked. And
He doesn't get his certificate of occupancy until that mechanical permit is taken care of.
that's why I would like Mr. Jansen to
Well,
be
he just
aware
got
of
this
this.
email today.
Yes.
He just received it from the building inspector today at 11:42.
That's fine. 12/7, he was contacted.
Right.
And they, obviously, Minspec hasn't had any contact with him. He hasn't approached him. He hasn't contacted him. That's why they sent this to us just today. So that we know what's going on, and he's slacking. And I have a funny feeling if Mr. Jansen got a telephone call that Mr. Yanish would be in contact with Minspec before the end of the week.
I don't see where they're issuing a certificate of occupancy. We're issuing the rental one.
Right, but we aren't supposed to do that until that mechanical.
But I'm wondering, when you look at this, why, I'm probably wrong, a certificate of occupancy to that property. They're not going to be issuing a certificate of occupancy. So this is a little misleading. When they're going to sign off on the mechanical permit, that means he's met everything that we requested and we're going to give him the rental deal. I don't understand why they're now sticking a certificate of occupancy on this thing. That's a whole different ballgame.
Oh, yeah, where it says we may issue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe, I'll tell you what, I will take this one and call him myself, if you guys don't mind, where this is at. Why is he, I'd like to know what he's doing on a building permit,
Yes.
and why she's got that on here, and
So you're saying
And
you're
then-
gonna call Minspec?
I'll
Or
call
you're
this
gonna call
Tanya, because I know her.
Mike, oh, okay.
yeah, because that mechanical permit was for what specifically? What was it,
Yeah, what was it?
did it have to do with was it the boiler?
No? I mean, didn't he not literally apply for that permit almost like the next day after?
Mm-hmm.
But they need some kind of information.
Yeah, I'm sure, yeah.
Because if you've ever seen his applications, and it's not filled out properly. That's why he had all the trouble before getting the permits, because he doesn't fill them out in enough detail where Minspec can go, I don't even know what he wants to do. Trust me, I've looked at them, I've read them, and I can see their disappointment. This
So-
isn't the first permit Minspec has asked for more information to move forward on.
A
his
lot of times from
permits.
a lot of people.
I understand, but we're having trouble with this one right now.
Yeah, I'd like to
And
just
we
get
have
this
for the
thing
last
behind us.
Few months, exactly. And I thought we were being pretty generous, hoping that this would, but
Did we have anything on there? Did we have anything when we gave them the okay, X amount of time to get this mechanical permit, mechanical deal, didn't
we
we?
didn't put a date on that one. We
That's
put
our
a date on that rafter and that original, it was that Monday.
Yeah, but he came in that and was
Friday.
already fixed.
Yep, yeah, he took care of the ones that we put dates on. And then this was like, oh yeah, I'll get that done next, I'll apply for the permit right away tomorrow. Well, obviously, it's not getting taken care of, because we gave them that inch.
So he did apply for the permit?
On 12/7.
On 12/7,
Well,
which
before
is-
that, Minspec requested more information
Yeah.
on 12/7.
On 12/7. So he did probably apply for the permit when he said he was going to. He
That's
just
fine.
hasn't replied to
So
the
when was that meeting?
request.
What was that meeting that when he had everything and we gave him the okay, what date was that?
35 days is at the beginning of.
It was December 6th.
No, because I don't have any
Yeah,
information
December-
on
Right,
the
so that was
December 6th.
12/7 when he
Yeah,
applied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when he gave the update, and he said, I've got all of these things done, and this is all that's left.
And I need to apply for the mechanical
Yes.
permit. So my question on that whole thing then is he applied on 12/7.
I don't know, I think he may have applied for it
Okay.
before that, but I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? If you apply and they turn around and ask for something that same day?
Yep.
So when they fill out the application for a permit, is there any dates in your office that says when they applied for them?
I can pull it up on Inspect and you can see that, yes.
So they just emailed him the other day saying, or even today saying, hey, we tried to get a hold of you a month ago and
Right.
you're not responding.
I just don't want to get swept under the rug for a whole nother.
No, I'm saying is I'm hoping that he's got it done by that
From
January
the
meeting.
December 6th meeting.
In 2 weeks.
Not the minutes, I just have the agenda.
Well, they would be in your packet, they're all
Right.
part of the packet.
The next meeting.
The next meeting, the last weeks are in.
So it would be,
So
Good
if
point,
he
so
was there,
12/20.
He would have been at the November meeting, correct? And that's where we would have said stuff because he then came to our December 6th meeting.
Yes.
That was his end date.
The 6th, and then that Friday for that
Yeah, So
rafter.
either that November meeting, the minutes, or the December 6th meeting minutes should have.
do we have the minutes from the December
They're always
6th?
in your. packet.
Yes,
It's always in
so
there.
they would be in the, I'm in the
You read them.
12/20.
So one person at a time.
Yeah, but that was for the last meeting where,
They're all, unless you delete them,
no,
There-
12.
So if you pull up the 12/20 packet,
Yeah.
that's what I'm asking.
yes. Okay, so here it is, it's page 49 of that 12/20 packet. Old business, villager apartment update. Mike Janich was present and stated that all inspections had been completed to the satisfaction of Inspect, including the broken truss and attic and all fire code violations. Mike's projection for the 2 uninhabitable units, plans on installing a security system. Okay, here we go. D, Minspec stated that they would allow occupancy of 6 of the 8 units as all items on the list have been substantially completed and there are no safety concerns regarding the remaining details. There is a mechanical permit left to be inspected, but that is not part of the complaint. They were very impressed that all items needing to be addressed were completed in a timely manner. This recommendation is to issue a temporary certificate of occupancy for the 6 units that will have to be reissued every 180 days. And then it continues talking about the 2 uninhabitable units.
So he didn't meet what they want. He met what we wanted, but he didn't even
Yes.
come up to their code.
So it sounds like neither one of these issues is,
But it's for occupancy permit.
They can't give them you can't pull an occupancy permit and try to give it back to them. This is strictly a rental permit.
Well, then we need more information from Minspec
yes,
about this email.
that's what it sounds like this is needed. Is that we need clarification.
I'm sorry, did it
Yep.
not, I personally am trying to find that letter from Minspec.
The one that detailed all the things that he had to get done?
And he came back and said he's suggesting a temporary deal based on, I really want the, I'll find it.
Okay.
The info where it says, you can issue it based on that mechanical one getting finalized. I thought there was something in there from the
Okay.
actual letter from the Minspec.
It said that permit had nothing to do with the complaint. So at least that's the way I understood what you
Yep.
said.
That's what I understood it as I was reading it again, so.
Here's the letter sent to Mike.
It just makes me wonder if this is regarding those 2 other units. Just the way it's worded, because he already has a certificate of occupancy for the other 6. So something is confusing here.
Yeah.
Something's not making sense.
There needs to be some,
I keep rereading it, it doesn't make sense.
yep, the same issue with it.
Because he got issued on November 23rd, the letter from the building inspector on what to do. November 23rd, here's what you have to do. So he couldn't have been sitting here in November saying he had it done, because she didn't send this letter until November 23rd. Because here, she's telling him, "Dear Michael, here's your permit, blah, 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 here's what you have to do."
Well, he didn't tell us till December that it was
December.
done.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She did say on November 23rd, at the bottom, "Currently, the mechanical permit that you submitted is on hold due to missing information." This was on November 23rd. She sent this letter.
That's probably the mechanical permit
It is-
they're
it says-
referring to.
yeah.
On 12/7, they contacted him again for more information,
Mhm.
and on the 28th. So he's not following up. Yeah, if it's not have to do with the complaint with us, it'll never get done.
Here's mechanical room. No permits on file for boiler replacement. Work was done without a permit, so he needs to get the boiler inspected.
I knew it was something with the boiler.
You did say, yeah.
And it's really simple. The piping for the boiler is unbonded, meaning they gotta ground it. So if it's done right, it's pretty simple. But apparently, he hasn't done anything with it. So if you do look back in your deal, it's there, so, okay.
Yeah, so then it sounds like it's not ours, so then
Looks like we got it. I mean, we found it here.
yes,
So I'll call her, you forward that letter off to the attorney.
yep. Yep.
Tell them, it's been long enough.
Yep.
I just don't want to take the people out.
If we just let it, if we don't
Just
touch
get it
on
done, I mean.
If we don't touch on it, it's gonna get forgotten.
Right.
and
Yes.
so we're gonna
I'll
have
call
to-
Tanya tomorrow and
Thank
then you send it to the, okay, Diane?
Yeah.
Okay. What else we have for open discussion?
I just wanted to mention, so I don't know if any of you other got a call. I got a call from a concerned citizen, of course, about the parking. And concerned citizen would like to meet and look over in the north there, and I just wanted to make, and I had mentioned that person, I said, well, if a bunch of counselors and people are showing up, that's a quorum, we can't do that, so I don't really know what the situation with that is, or, if anybody planned on attending, or what.
Well, I thought you were attending, weren't you?
I was gonna go up there, that's why I just wanted to bring it up and make sure that,
I'm glad you did, because I did hear about it today from Steve.
Yep.
And he's like, what is going on? And this concerned citizen can pull a meeting together,
Yep.
all that
Yep.
stuff, so.
and I do gotta say, I'm gonna go up there because that's our job, it's what we're supposed to do, I'm gonna take a look at it. For me, I mean, if there's, I don't know anything that would supersede the safety of what we've already discussed, but I also gotta say too, that I am a little concerned, and this is, sure I'm gonna gather a bunch of hate for this again too, but I'm a little bit concerned that we have to be careful with the environments we're fostering in this town, where we're wearing people down, and I'm just, you know what I mean? Or maybe I'm not articulating myself, I guess maybe I'm tiptoeing around it too much.
Well, yeah,
But we're
don't
gonna lose
tiptoe.
people if we keep fostering an environment of,
Yeah.
so I'm just a little concerned.
Okay.
So,
I'm gonna interject on that one. So we had a personnel meeting.
yep,
Diane was there, and Sandy's on the personnel. We after that last meeting, I thought enough of that.
yep,
So we did it as a personnel meeting. We pulled them in there, we had the fire department in there, it was an open meeting, the fire department and the ambulance, we talked through things. And the issue that came up was, you guys gotta communicate. And Sandy, you can interject this, I asked, tons of questions to the guys, and guys and gals, and they interjected, and the funny thing was, they aren't talking to each other, okay? What was it, after about 20 minutes when I'm asking them a question, pretty soon they're talking to each other.
Now they're working together.
Yeah, so that to me was kind of like trying to get them to work together, you know what I mean? And I talked to them afterwards and it went a long ways, I
Yeah.
think, and I
I think
thank
so
you for
too.
coming and Diane for
Yeah.
coming. So that's why I did that meeting, because it was, when it left here, it wasn't good. And I didn't like that meeting. So be it, it's history, we move on. So I think and then we also mandated, as you heard me that night, the department head meetings. They actually had one already today. Right, did you not? And how did it go? Did everybody attend?
Yeah, I walked in right during that. I was like,
So, you know, that's different, but I mean, I'm gonna touch on the parking issue, but I'm also saying is I think we took some leaps and bounds as far as getting them to work together and, you know, and, right?
and go back to training together.
They're actually gonna train together.
So I think it's gonna build their camaraderie
Right.
together instead of being these two separate.
Entities that have to fight for resources.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's good, because I can say from my own perspective that you can wear people down.
Oh, yeah.
You can wear people down, people can just say, hey, you know, I'm out there doing this, and I'm talking about everybody in this town. There's not a bunch of volunteers waiting to jump into things anymore, you know what I mean? So if we're not just kind to one another, you can wear each other down.
Absolutely.
And people that would normally have done a lot more and wanted to do more, and just, you can wear these people down, and they will say, hey, I've had enough.
Yeah, because pretty soon, you're 100% right, pretty soon if it's the only interaction is negative, that's what gets you,
Yep,
right?
agreed.
I'll jump ship, this parking. We talked about this, and I've talked to different ambulance people, and I've talked to the fire department. I've talked to that individual you're talking about as well today. Here's my view on the whole thing. The way it was, however this came about, worked for 35 years. Don't ask me why this all came about, and I'm saying is it shouldn't matter how it came about. What I'm saying is it worked fine for 35 years. What we talked about, after that meeting, I talked to the fire department, I talked to Public Works and the ambulance person. And after I had talked to the other ambulance people, here is something I think we should chew on as a council, as far as this whole issue. If it worked for 35, 40 years, it should work now. What I'm suggesting that we think about, if this doesn't work, whatever is, everybody's happy with whatever you guys, tomorrow, they should park the way they parked. Anybody that's gonna be in there has to park tight to that building, parallel to that building, which they always did for many, many years, and they can park in the front too, only when they're on a run. If they're up there doing paperwork or you're on the training, park like everybody else.
Yeah, they don't need to be in a hurry to get to the building.
You know what I'm saying is don't park there next to that building, don't park out in front. But if they get called in an emergency, park there, park tight, get it out of everybody's way, park in the front like they always did if need be, go on your run and, hey, thank you, save lives. But the rest of the time, don't park there.
Yeah, I guess I
You know what I
agree.
mean?
When it comes to a run, though, there definitely should be a place for these people to park no matter what, because they're the ones that are trying to go save people.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
I don't want them getting hurt to save people, but I think that, I don't know, for me, it's always gonna be a safety thing. I think we've gotta look at it as a safety thing, and I honestly don't believe that running from the north end of the building is safe.
Right.
I don't.
Yeah, and I'm saying is whatever comes out of there, the reason I'm saying that is if that doesn't work out,
Yep.
we want to make everybody happy. They were happy for 40 years. Go back to 40 years. How they ever got stopped from parking there, I think there was more to it, and we don't need to dwell on it. It wasn't that they were parking there, it was how they were parking there.
Yep.
Taking up room. And I mean, I know what you're saying is parking in front of the building, because people have to drive there to pay their, well, no, but I'm being realistic, pay their bills. You know what, if somebody's out on an ambulance run, if my wife's coming up to pay the bill, she can park over here and walk over and drop that check in the
Or they
butt.
just go,
I've never,
You know, I mean,
I've never pulled in there and had both spaces taken anyway.
And I don't think I'm ever gonna complain, and I don't think anybody should if somebody's pulling up and they're on a call running to save somebody's life if they're not parking tight to the building, if they're rolling up and going.
well,
I'm
but
not
I'm saying
gonna
make it a
complain.
practice.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's parked 10 feet away in the back end is where that all came about. I mean, I don't know how, but I mean, that was just, you know, and I talked to the other, I didn't talk to Michelle.
No, you didn't, no.
What I'm saying is,
You left out, no.
if it worked for 35, 40 years, come on.
Yep. I am gonna go back to this, and I know this is another one that's gonna get me kicked around though too, is we gotta go.
We didn't kick you around on the
No,
last
I'm not talking
one.
about you guys, I'm talking about the
Oh.
communities in general. We wanna make sure we're respecting all of our department heads too as best we can, everybody. Now, not, you know what I mean, everybody. I'm talking people in the community, ourselves, other department heads, I don't know.
Are you saying that's still an issue with the parking if it
Well,
didn't?
no, I just think that it's going to be, because there again, I understand human nature. I think that
Yeah.
if we keep making decisions and going back on them and stuff, I think,
Yeah.
I understand human nature. It would irritate me, I'm gonna be honest with
What's
you.
that?
If, now that we said, hey, now twice now, we've said, hey, we're gonna get you somewhere where you can roll up in and go save a life, and then we go back on it again. You know what I mean?
But-
And I don't know if that's.
But if
gonna be the
that
case,
wasn't,
or-
think about, why did that come up?
Yeah.
Because they couldn't park alongside that building.
And I'm just hoping whatever decision comes up that the.
Everybody's on
department that's
board.
being affected is on board with it. And I'll go ahead and say with the, you know, with ambulance chief, I hope that we're respecting that person's on board with it as well. You know what I mean? So, and you've got your work cut out for you. Congratulations, buddy.
Take care of it.
Well, we gotta respect other people because,
Because if people start feeling disrespected, they start to lose that loving feeling with, hey, I'm gonna go out and do these wonderful things, because they're just tired. And I know that from my own personal feelings. You can get tired of getting
beat up.
beat up. You can get tired of, like you said, if everything's always negative,
That's why that meeting went well, was
That's
because
good.
I think it was 99% positive, wasn't it?
Oh, yes. And it was so funny because when everybody walked in, they were a little cold.
They sat in their own spots.
Yeah, you know, they were a little cold, and then once the interaction started, it warmed up in there quite a
And they
bit.
started, you know, the thing that I really thought was really good is they started talking about, our training officers should talk to them, so schedule like.
Joint trainings.
Training, I mean, Michelle would know more about it than any of us, that maybe it's a crash or something, I don't know, but that's between them, they can figure that out, but they started talking.
Yeah, and agreeing that they should maybe do 4 a year, you know, that kind of thing, and
But I think
they
the
haven't
department
in a
head
while,
meetings are gonna
so.
go a huge, they gotta
Yeah.
talk, they have to talk.
Yeah, it was good, and I completely agree with what you're saying,
Oh,
completely.
and I've said this before, and I don't want to beat a dead horse or anything, but I told the same thing to the fire department too. Had they requested something like that where they not feel themselves, my vote would have been instantly yes. You know what I mean? If you're not feeling safe, and you know, and we all know ice, I've fallen down. I'm pretty spry, and I've fallen down and taken it. You know what I mean?
I broke my leg falling on
Yeah.
ice not too
So
long ago.
I get it. I don't, you know, and I don't want one group to think that they're not getting something the other one is. I don't know.
right.
So, are we saying these signs by the auditorium will come down?
No.
We're not
I'm
saying anything yet.
I'm saying personally, absolutely not. We'll get feedback from that meeting,
Yes.
we'll talk about it at the next council meeting, and that's when, if any action is
Yeah.
taken, will be taken. They stay just the way they are for now.
And we want to get the
Right?
feedback, so we can make a final decision.
I was asked to be at that meeting tomorrow.
Right.
So there will
Well, you're the liaison, you should be there.
Well, I am now, I wasn't when I was asked.
So there will be two counselors.
Yes.
You're fine, nobody else
So you're-
goes.
Yeah.
All right, all right. But, yeah, I just, there again, like I said, I don't know. I understand human nature, and I don't
No,
want
well,
anybody
yeah, we
to
know
feel
it, yeah.
disrespected, so.
So we want to do our best to keep everybody communicating and being happy, and,
And let them know that we're listening.
so not this time, Diane, but the next meeting, I'd like a report on the department heads discussion. We understand that you just did it today, so give your report at our next meeting for this month. That way we know what's happening. Okay? Phew, talked enough about that.
Okay, right?
Got anything else? What I was gonna ask one other thing. The only other thing is Dale keeps telling me that, well, it's you now, that deal for the payloader, and that is really was a,
I was going to bring that up.
you
They
know,
haven't hauled snow The only reason they've hauled snow is to empty parking lots. They've been cleaning anything under 4 inches in one day with that loader.
Right.
Main Street's gone.
Nice.
And Jared, you know, if you figure out, oh, he's in there more, no, he runs the loader to load snow, so why not let him do his regular day?
I think Dale told me they started, the last one, they started at, if I'm off an hour, 4, and they were done like 9, and normally it would take them till at least noon.
Yeah.
So think about if that thing is done right and they have to do it on a Saturday, we're gonna save money on just overtime.
It's paid for itself almost already.
Right,
And we're only, well, technically, we've had 7 snow events
right.
already.
All right, is there anything else?
No.
And you're gonna send out the descriptions to everybody? Okay, I need a motion then, please.
I move to adjourn?
Is there a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, meeting adjourned, and have a safe trip, Sandy.
Thank you.
Yeah, I need them too.
Yeah, I don't have them right now.
It should only be one day.
Hey, well, it was gonna be Hale Township and the other township.
Ridge Valley?
Ridge Valley.